Hey, what's up everyone? Welcome back to the channel. This is the Flatmaggot coming to you with the second session of the £50 buy-in. We got off to a great start in the first session. Are we going to be as lucky this time? Let's jump in and find out. Okay maggots, let's make a start. Let's check the balance. It's 210.78 or 210.50, ignoring the 28p. That's rolled over from the last session. This is what we've got to play with this time. Let's do the vitals to start with. I'm just going to see how long this glass has been on for. Check how many spins she's made. See if there's any sign of a dealer signature. And quite frankly, there isn't at the moment. I did take the liberty of watching the dealer spin before I started recording. There's not a lot going on, so I'm just going to put out a skinny system type bet. 25, and we hit. So we're just going to carry on with that. So this bet is it's kind of a system. I don't even know what it's called. Something like Holy Splits. I got it from another YouTube site, and they concentrate on betting strategy and betting systems. $32. Just carry on. Yeah, so I'll leave the link for them if you're interested in looking at what types of betting systems there are out there. I've used this one because this is it's quite a cheap way to do it. You can modify it and bet as much as you want really, but this is really quite a cheap layout. It concentrates on the second column, and then at the end of the second column there's an outside bet on there that acts as a bonus. Oh, and we've hit it, 29, so we get a half and we get the bonus, and that was for, I think our layout was like, there we go, 14, and we won a tenner on that bet. Just looking at the numbers, 32. There was a 32 box. Oh, it's at 32 again. There you go. A few spins back hit 32. Then there was there's the box, and now there's the skip. So these are two turns that we spoke about in the first session, and they've happened again already in the second section. So that was the skipper number come in, 32, skip the number, 32 again. And previously before that we had 32, we had the repeat skip, and then the box, it came back in. Number 9, empty. So that is, let me see, 1, 2, 3, that's 4 voice in. So we're going to put in a voice in bet, I think, here, because when I was watching it spin previously, it was very slightly biased voice in 0 section, but it wasn't enough for me to go and bet on it. But now it's hit 4 voice-ins as well. It's tipped it quite heavily, so I'm just going to go with that and see what happens. So here I've got my standard voice-in layout. Just made it in a 9. It's good. Let's just see how we go with this. Let's go with that again. Really should decide to press now. If I leave it later, we might miss our opportunity, because it seems to be hitting that section. regular at the moment. We'll just ride it, go with the flow for now, see what happens. Yeah, back into that section, that's good. We got a little bit extra there because we put an extra half on. Let's just trim that, got that wrong earlier. Finger trouble. Let's go with that. Oof. Nasty bounce. Okay. Just the single bullet for now, so we'll just go that again. So whilst we're going with that bet there, don't have to think about it too much. Why don't we just talk about roulette in general? Yeah, that's good. She's consistent. So there's three main types of roulette. There's French, European, and American roulette. One we're playing here at the moment is the European roulette layout. The difference really is in the wheel. How do you tell? That's the easiest way to do it, is to look at the wheel. If it's got a single zero, which is the green pocket, oh, it's alternating now, so still going to go with it. Yeah, so the zero, which is the green pocket, only French and European have a single zero. The American roulette has a double or triple zero. So if you're going to play this and you want to win, or you want the best odds, you need to know which table to play on. So the house has what they call a house edge. This is their advantage over the player. It's expressed as a percentage usually. So the version of roulette that has the best percentage is French roulette. And the way you tell the difference between a French roulette and a European roulette is on the actual layout itself, where you put the chips. The whole table layout, cloth layout, is slightly different, and it's all marked up in French as well. But on French roulette, the house edge is pretty meager. It's like, if I can remember, it's like 1.35% in favor of the house. And then European roulette, which is what we have here, this is 2.7% in favor of the house. And then the American roulette, the double zero is, what is that? That's like 5.3 or something, and then a double zero is 7.7 or 7.8, so it's pretty high in favor of the house. So the numbers speak for themselves. So the lower the percentage house edge, that's the one that you're going to have more chance beating. So French roulette is available online, but in the UK you'll probably not find it in the casino. I don't remember the last time I saw a French roulette table in a UK casino. It must have been at least 20 years ago since I last played on one. So you'll find this table, European roulette, and then the American roulette, obviously all over the states, in Vegas, Atlantic City, places like that. So you know, if you look at the house edge, those are the tables to stay away from. So if you went somewhere like a cruise ship, or if you went to the States, if you have an option, then your first choice should be French roulette. $26. In the UK, of course, you won't be able to have that choice unless you're playing online. The difference, why French roulette is better odds, is because on French roulette they have colour rules which is different to European roulette. There's a rule called le partage and en prison, and the le partage one is that if you're betting the outside bets, the odds and evens, high lows, black and red, if it lands in the green 0, you get half your bet back, so you don't lose it. Whereas on European roulette, which is what we're playing here, if you play outside bets and you land on 0, you lose your bet totally. Now, en prison, which is simply translated as in prison, if you're playing an outside bet and it goes into 0, your bet gets frozen. It stays where it is, and you get a second chance at hitting that color, red or black. And then obviously if it goes against you, they take your bet then, but you get a second stab at it. And again, that's why it's better odds, because you don't actually lose your bet totally. So we're still on. Do I press this harder? No, I think I'm happy with it now. Whilst we're up, I think I'm comfortable at the level that we're at the moment. I think if we pressed it any harder, if it changed, like we'd lose what we've gained really quick. So the American roulette, I don't think you'll find it. I don't think you'll find that over here in the UK, but like I said, all over the States, in Vegas and stuff. I mean, if the house odds are that high for double and triple 0, why do people play it? But you'll always see people around the tables. They're crowded, and I can only imagine they're degens. They really don't care what they're putting on. They've got no plan, no strategy, and the rest are all tourists, and they're just having their 15 half hour of fun, you know, and they're playing with what they're prepared to lose. So, you know, they're just having a bit of fun, and that's great for the casino. They know they're going to make off you. So that house edge, that percentage house edge, that guarantees that the casino makes profit based on that edge over time, and that's how they make money off this particular table game, or all table games for that matter. Okay, we're just going to keep going with the same bet. We've edged forward a little bit, so we could press a little bit, I suppose. Let's have a look at what's going on here. Now, I might have touched on it on the last session. There's something very different about this particular roulette table. I mean, it's a European roulette table, but there's no name for it on the site that I'm using, but I've seen it advertised as Evolution Roulette. And if you watch it, the croupier, the dealer, only spins it in one direction. I think I might have touched on it before when I said that It only ever changes direction when there's a wheel clean, I think is what I said before. I need to correct myself on that, because it's not when there's a wheel clean, it's when there's a ball change, is that they change the direction. Outside of that, they keep spinning at the same direction. And I like that, purely because in regular roulette, the spin is alternating, so it spins one direction, anti-clockwise one spin, and then clockwise the next. And then they're supposed to vary the speed of the ball as well and stuff like that. So we've taken one of the variables out, basically. And that's why I play this over French roulette online. Plus the fact, playing French roulette's fine, but playing outside bets is just plain old boring. It doesn't suit my play style. It doesn't do anything for me, because at the end of the day, we're playing this for fun. I like playing it the way it is. I don't play a great deal of roulette and casinos. My preferred game of choice is blackjack, and that has a house edge of 0.5%, as low as 0.5%. There's all sorts of variations of blackjack out there, so it varies between 0.5% and 2 point something, I think, because there's variations, because straight up blackjack is just 21, and it's 3-2 odds on blackjack. But there's a lot of tables out there now that are 6-5. The odds are different. So and then there's side bets as well, that whilst they're fun, they're all designed to take your money off you, to give the house a greater edge. So if you're a blackjack player, or if you want to play blackjack, look for a 3-2 table. So if you get blackjack, you get paid 1.5 basically. All the tables with 6-5, don't even bother. And then the ones with the side bets, they're fun. If you play those are fun, but that's all it is. But if you want a serious game of blackjack, play 3-2. I would play blackjack online, but it's really boring. It takes an age to, for a round of cards to go through, because you have to wait for other people to decide what they want to do, whether they want to take a card, double down, hold, and by the time, if you're on a table with 5 other people, it takes forever to happen. And there's the reason I play blackjack is because it's a very sociable game too, because you're on the table, you're having some banter with the other players, with the dealer. So I find it great fun. Me and my mates play that. We have a good laugh, and hopefully win a little bit of money. But playing it online, it's hard work. You might give it a go sometime, but it'll be like one-on-one, me against the dealer. So so it's quick. And to get a one-on-one, we have to play a higher minimum bet table, and that will probably be. But I don't like playing just one hand. I like to see the run of the cards, so I'd have to play at least 2 hands, or maybe 3. But the trouble is with that, on a table like that, you need a decent bankroll, and it's difficult weather on your own if it's going against you, just like this is at the moment. So we've eaten 2 bullets on the trot there. Come on, we're still on the right side. Look, we're roughly, what's it, 95 up with this bet on. Where are we at the moment? We're like 20 minutes in. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to try and keep it below an hour. Well, actually, I'll make it an hour maximum. So when we hit that hour, win or lose, whether we're done or not, we'll stop. Which could be a pain, because we could be seesawing all the way through and then start making some ground and we're going to stop. But an hour's enough. It's we don't want to go past that. Maybe on exceptional occasions we'll go past that hour, but if there's some action going on, maybe we'll go past, but otherwise we'll try and keep it below an hour. Otherwise it might get a bit too boring from a watch point of view, obviously, but when you're playing it goes quick. Ah. One in, one out, one in, one out. We've made a little bit of ground, but not a great deal is happening at the moment. I'm hoping that it stays like this, and then we get another peak, another little run, and that might be our lot for today. Going back to what I was saying about roulette tables, did I mention about the French? The French roulette tables, like I said, we don't get them in the UK. You can get them in the States, but they're like rocking horse doo-doo. But they are about. I've seen them in some of the big name casinos. There's the odd French roulette table, but in France, in Monaco, the whole Casino de Monte Carlo, that's exclusively French roulette in there, and it's posh, real posh. Nice place. I can't remember. I must have, last time I was in there, maybe 10 or 15 years ago. But in there, they have a back room, like a high rollers room, like, you know, the casino shares the building that has the theatre, the opera, ballet, and it's really opulent there. If you're after amazing architecture and stuff, that's the place to go. And the dealers, they're better dressed than, I don't know, half the punters. They're in tuxedos like James Bond, and they got disgustingly healthy suntans on them. It's very posh. But in that back room, that's where the serious gambling happens. There's some pretty big high rollers in there. The last time I was in there, the roulette, there's a casino in the front half of the building, which majority of punters play in, and then you can go into the back room, but your regular person has to buy a day pass or a admission to get in the back, and it's, I think last time I paid 10 or 15 euro. So you can go in there during the day casual, and I think at night you have to be smart casual, no trainers and all that kind of stuff. And the table minimums in there are pretty rich. So I played roulette in there last time I was there because it was early on in the day. That was the only thing. That's one of the only things that was open. There weren't many card tables. The card tables that were open were very high minimum bets. I think the roulette was a minimum bet of 10 euro. So I had a couple of rounds on that, and it took me forever to work out what what the denominations of the chips were and stuff like that. They were very posh. Didn't do any good. I think I lost €1,500 and that's it. I thought, oh. Neither here nor there. Okay, bit of a seesaw of a game. So with our layout at the moment, as you can see, we started off quite a skinny layout. I think it was like £19. Oh, and we hit it. 32. Good shout. I pressed that a little bit because the one before last was 15. So I was looking for a skip for 15, and then if it doesn't go back in, if it does go back in the same area, I pick 32 and it come in. So what I was going to say was that the layout that we've got, if we've increased it somewhat from when we started. I think we started off at 19, and now we're at 32. We pressed a little bit. Is this going okay then? Okay, let's go for the skip on 32. So we've pressed it a little bit more again. So let's get that back on. Let's just tidy him up. So yeah, the bet there, you can see I've got one number which is 32 that I'm betting heavier, and that's what me and my mates, we call that the primary. That's the main number that you're wanting to hit, and then you bet the neighbors, the numbers either side of it, depending on whether it's a code number or not. You know, oh, that's 2 bullets. Let's go again. To see if it comes back on as a box bet. Come on. Ah, didn't make it, man. Okay. So we made no ground at all there, to be honest. But we'll stick with it. So yeah, what was I saying? We're talking about primary bets, and then the secondaries are the neighbors or whatever other hot numbers are out there, or the next hottest numbers. Those are the secondaries. So and the rest are just there for continuation. So like 22, that's a continuation, because all that's done is recovered our bet and given us a little bit more ammo for the next spin. So all that's doing is that is keeping us in the game until we hit secondary and primary numbers. And then when we've hit the primary number a couple of times, that should be our game. We need to call it at that point. Sometimes you can hit your primary number if you happen to pick the right numbers. There's an 18, another continuation. We've got our bet back, so that's the win's 45, our bet was 33. We've made £12 on that. So the last 2 spins, that's 24, one more, that's a free spin total. So if we hit a bullet, that's a free spin. That's the way I look at it. Now if we would hit that primary at this point, we would be looking at calling it a day. Obviously when you hit it, we'll have to do the backup spins just to make sure that it's not going to be repeat, a skip, or a box. And if we and the hope is that we're going to get a continuation on one of those 3 spins. If not, then we're going to lose 3 times whatever we're betting at the time before we finish. Where's that going? Bounce back half a wheel. Let's just trim this a little bit. Just out of our reach there. Let's keep going. It's a right old seesaw because we're back down to like 280. If this loses, 240, and then the next bet would put us back pretty much even to where we started. Go on! Oh! 15. Secondary. If we'd have hit our primary, that'd have been it. We'd be looking to wrap it up right now. Should be a dealer change incoming soon. Oh, 36. Come on, we're going to get that 32. $15, it goes back. Either side, 32.19. Put a little bit more on 19. Come on, let's have that skip. No legs. Okay, let's just trim this back up. Yeah, we're back down now because our primary number is pretty big. Look, that's taking all our that's eating up all our balance there, our bankroll. Every time we don't hit it, especially when we don't hit any kind of continuation number either, that's a pretty big dent. Does that give us 258? Go on. Could have done with a harder edge on that pocket. It's in the right area. It keeps us going. I'm sorry if there's some background noise. I got the TV on. I don't know whether it's picked up at all on the commentary. 31. Now I remember I said, 35. So, sometimes it hits like 11 around that section after 35, and 31 back to front is 13, and they're worth a show. I've not done them because they're like cold as ice, so I'm not bothered with it. Other times, if I were playing tier, the opposite side to what we're doing at the moment, then I would consider perhaps bolstering the bet. Come on, he needs a couple of hits on the bounce. Otherwise we're only going to be a pound up. Go on. Oh, there it is. There it is. Nice. Okay, I think, you could make the call and say, right, let's just stop right there. We hit that primary. We're well up. Let's do it. But being a gambler, let's just see if we get a repeat, whether we get that skip. We'll play them out. So we could lose £100 of this back. Go on. No, that's one bullet. We're looking for the skip now. Any chance? I would normally press this, but we need to safeguard the bankroll here. Even if it does go in, that's still a good hoik up. So anywhere in our section would do. That will go on. Yes. Okay. Let's close them out with a box. Let's see if it comes in for that. Come on. Ah, 31. 31. Let's go one more. Should really stop there. The smart money would be to stop now, before this bet. But I think there's probably a little bit more mileage, maybe. He says. Maybe I'm going to wish I hadn't done it now. One more. One more. Okay. So I should be thinking, if this hits, we'll carry on to another one, because it would have got our bet back and we'd have had a little bit more on top. And then the next time we eat a bullet, we finish. How about that? And it's hit a number. Let's go again. 36. Hit it again. That's our section. Let's go again. If we happen to hit our primary at this point, we're just going to keep going. And then do the same thing again, the backups, and then we'll play until we eat bullet. And we've eaten a bullet. Yeah, I think we ought to call it there. Exercise a little bit of control. That's a wrap. What did you think of session 2? Did we get lucky again? Let's have a quick recap. So the rollover from the previous session, we started with £210.50. We finished on 446. That's a net plus of £235.50. A little over 100% on the session. My thoughts overall, the play was decent. Again, it went as well as it could have done. We definitely had a couple of runs, ebbs and flows. Control at the end was a little bit weak. We could have finished with a little bit more than we did, but that's a gambler's trait coming out. One more spin, it's never a good thing really. So should stop when you hit that primary and just call it a day, and then don't look back. The next session is a whole different game. So £446, that's a decent amount of money. The smart thing to do here would be to take out at least what you won in the last session there and treat yourself to something nice. That way you've still got some bankroll there to play another session, and even if you do lose that money, you've got something to show for your windfall. So if you like that and enjoyed it, as before, drop us a like, subscribe, turn on your notifications, and I'll see you in the next one.